So it's the Rugby Championship under-20s, the inaugural tournament. On the left, Vernon Basin leading the New Zealand 20s out. On the right, the captain is the number 3, tight head Zachary Porton. New Zealand, the squad features 3 players with NPC experience. 18 have national development contracts. 6 are backing up from last year's 20s. 18 have continued on from the New Zealand secondary school system. We're talking about the cream of New Zealand junior talent, and of course the same can be said for the junior box. They arrived in Australia last Thursday and have settled in well, and they had to because it's a tough challenge first up, taking on New Zealand, and the first challenge is going to be thrown down now by the New Zealand 20s. Well, Nick Frisbee, if that doesn't fire them up, nothing will.
Yeah, you can feel the energy. It's just gone through the roof, Clarkie, hasn't it? New Zealand 20s throwing down the challenge in the junior box, gratefully accepting. Look out in these opening exchanges. There's going to be some physicality. They're going to be flying in, these young stars. Can't wait to see what we're in for.
Referee is Jordan Kaminsky from Australia, lives in Perth, WA. TMO is Brett Cronin. And the assistants are Nawan Rivero from Argentina and Jeremy Markey from Australia. The junior box, 5 players backing up from last year's campaign. They finished 3rd in the World Rugby Under-20 Championship last year. They were the only Southern Hemisphere side to finish in the top 4 last year. So all of these 4 teams here for this tournament are very keen to make the most of the opportunity to improve before taking on the 6 Nations teams later. France and Ireland, of course, played in the final last year. Crowds settling in, as I mentioned. We are on the Sunshine Coast, the Sunshine Coast Stadium, north of Brisbane. But there's been a rainstorm, as you can see, the water just taking its time to drain away from what was looking like being a very good surface indeed. New Zealand is ready. The travelling squad selected from the Super Rugby Under-20 tournament in Taupo last month and previous training camps. Coach John O'Gibb says he's excited by the depth of talent in the squad. He can't wait to see them test themselves against the best in the Southern Hemisphere before the World Rugby Under-20 Championship starting late next month. It's going to be South Africa to get us underway. The Rugby Championship, the inaugural Rugby Championship Under-20s. And it's going to be very slippery, very tough conditions indeed for all 4 teams in action on the opening night. Mason, the captain, getting an early touch. Ben O'Donovan goes to the air. Good safe take at the back. And then, not too sure if he dropped it or just deliberately left it behind. Lakani goes to ground. Moose is the scrum half, and this is the front rower and the captain, Zachary Porthen. Pretty good handling so far. Another rumble. That time it's Juan Small from the Bulls. Is the captain again. A good carry to the halfway. I said Moose goes to the air. And this one is going to be taken. And they keep it alive. Leotella. Oh, and then a loose carry from him. And I think we're going to see quite a little bit of that, Nick.
Absolutely, Clark. You can see already conditions playing a part. Springboks controlling the ball beautifully, using their size and just building into the game nicely.
Well, there's the penalty. Basin thought he was entitled to pick it up. The referee had other ideas, so interesting early exchanges, and you'd have to give the nod to South Africa from a ball handling point of view in these conditions.
Yeah, definitely, and I love to see this. They're going to kick for line as well and back their set piece, and you can see just how strong the breeze is. That ball just hanging up in the air and doesn't find touch.
Plenty of back jerseys there as well, and that's a good defence by the New Zealanders.
That's a huge early let-off for New Zealand under 20s. They were going to be under the pump, facing a set piece in their own 22. They get out of jail, force the turnover, hold the carry up. You know what the South Africans bring. They want to go set piece to set piece, use their size in the carry, in the breakdown, turn it into a big physical battle, and these conditions will certainly suit that.
Speaking of conditions, one man braving them at the moment is our very own Marty Lippiott. Mate, that breeze is unbelievable, Marty.
Thank you, Clarkie. Good afternoon, Nicholas. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, mate, it was pouring down about 30 minutes ago. That's Eastleigh is howling in off the coast. So that kick barely even got across the touchline. It's going to play real havoc this afternoon as these teams battle it out.
The arm goes out, advantage here for New Zealand. A good scrum, and the big number 8, Malachi Rampling, hits the deck. There's the clearance, picking the gap nicely, and it's going to sit up there. Leotella, crunch there, big tackle coming in from Daly, and leaving it behind on that occasion was Bester, but it's play on until he goes over the chalk and into the swamp.
It's really smart footy from the Kiwis. They kick long off the turnover, and then they chase hard, force the junior box to play footy in their own half. In these conditions, that's going to be a risky game today. Telly was keen to run it, the South African Sevens prospect. He looked dangerous off his right foot. New Zealand 20s, they muscled up on Bester and forced him into touch. Coming across in great numbers here to throw Bester into the puddle.
Basin, his brother Mosesi is on the bench. Big day for the Basin family. Not straight is the call. We're going to see a little bit of that as well, I'd imagine, with that very strong breeze at the Sunshine Coast Stadium.
Yeah, both sides just finding their way at set piece. We've seen a scrum penalty, and now not straight at the line out. So, as you said, that wind and the rain just going to take a little bit of time to adjust to. Ooh.
Yep, this is the mark. Come on the left, mate.
A bit of a tough one.
I like the quote from the New Zealand coach, John O'Gibbs. He said, the rich history between New Zealand and South Africa rugby demands a highly physical battle. So, folks, strap yourselves in. It is going to be physical. It's going to be very tight indeed in these conditions. 5 minutes gone. New Zealand and South Africa, 0-0. Moose puts it in. They work to the short side. And that one will stay in the field of play. Picking up is Hutchinson. Donovan picks out Martin. Advantage here for New Zealand.
Thanks, mate.
Into touch goes Malachi Rampling, the man from the Waikato.
Jeez, it was a great take at the back from Hutchinson. Scooped up the loose ball, and then he wore a shot for his troubles, and he's won a penalty for his side. And New Zealand Schools the first chance now. Take some territory inside South African half and see if they can build some pressure and strike with some early points.
Wherever you're watching, it's great to have your company through Stan Sport in Australia, Sky Sport New Zealand, Super Sport South Africa, and ESPN in Argentina. First of 3 match days, double headers on all 3 days. Still to come, we've got Australia and Argentina right after this one between New Zealand and South Africa. So New Zealand's best attacking opportunity here. Great field position for them. Basin. The referee is happy with that one. No room to move up the middle for Zavi Taeli. O'Donovan. Johnny Lee manages to hold on. Just. Liam Jack. There's the knock on, and so good to see another Jack in the number 5 black jersey, isn't it? Liam, his dad Graham played for the Crusaders in 1998, and his uncle Chris Jack. 110 caps for the Crusaders, 67 tests for New Zealand. I seem to remember he was a New Zealand Player of the Year back in the early 2000s as well, Chris Jack.
Yeah, plenty to live up to, doesn't he, the young man? Just losing control of the ball. Copped a stray boot there on the way through. Remember Chris Jack when I was growing up. Watched a lot of him play.
William Martin in the 1 jersey. Another one of these promising youngsters coming through the Waikato and Chiefs pathway. Very impressive young man, the captain, Vernon Basin.
Mark's there. This one here. In now.
Comes a bonus here in these conditions, Clarkey, having a halfback that can kick straight from the source. We've already seen Assad Moose take control once inside his own territory and get his side out of trouble. Just limits the risk. You don't have to throw a pass, get it straight into his hands and bang it downfield. Quite pressure with your kick chase.
Moose puts it in on the 22.
Thanks, mate. Same scrum. Feet underneath you. Too far back.
Young front rowers enjoying going toe-to-toe out there.
They'll know each other by now because all of the teams, all 4 teams, are staying in the same hotel. A reminder of life on the World Series of Sevens, where you get to know each other.
Yeah, it's one of the best parts about touring, meeting, becoming friends with all the other players. I remember fondly on my under-20s tour, we stayed in the same hotel as the Kiwis as well on that occasion.
To South Africa. Taken back, and running it back now is Hutchinson. Got away from one. Already has the head bandaged. Looking to go a little wide of the ruck this time with Tom Allen. Mason. And again. Solid defence by the junior Springboks. They rip it out. Swat is there to clean up, and then it's won again by New Zealand. Keep kicking over the top and sending Damon back there to pick it up in the puddle. Wobbly old kick, but finds touch.
A bit of an itching old option down the middle of the field, but it's going to pay dividends for the young halfback O'Donovan. Found some space at the back and then some great kick chase. forces a wobbly old kick into touch and a net gain. Really smart play from the New Zealand 20s. You can see what they're trying to do. They're playing to the middle of the field and then coming back down the short side, just getting nice and compact and trying to play nice and direct.
Another attacking opportunity for New Zealand, and they can't control it. Falls nicely for Jakobs, the number 8, and then he offloads outside the 22. Moose waits for it. Come down around the halfway, they allow it to bounce, and yes, it did bounce once on that occasion. In the puddle, cleaned up by Isaac Hutchinson.
Fine off the black.
Cooper Grant kicking across. Taken though by South Africa, and Julius Damon. Hit pretty hard, great defence. Dyer
Fine, not held.
gets up, goes again, and they rip it away. Good work by Nuku, the right winger, getting his hands in there.
Yeah.
Martin.
No, no, no.
Good strong carry.
Use it. 5.
Now it'll be left to Ben O'Donovan to send it down the middle of the park again. Over the head of Mikhail Damon. No real pressure on him, so he puts it into touch. He thought he did, but that wind is just blowing it infield again. And Malachi Rampling goes to the deck. Grant picks out Allen. Nothing for Taeli there, the vice captain. Strong carry from Johnny Lee, but he ran into a wall of green jerseys. And the arm goes out, knocked on there.
Nearly came through and stole it through the middle of the ruck. The South African backfield needs to get their positional play sorted. They've allowed O'Donovan to box kick down the middle of the field 2 or 3 times now and just find open space, putting themselves under enormous amounts of pressure. The defence is holding strong though at the moment, I must say. I feel like they're winning the physical battle. They're handling these Kiwi ball runners nicely, not allowing them to get any ascendancy or quick ball in attack.
A few running repairs judged to go sideline, and Marty Lippiott.
Time off.
Thank you, gents. Yes, usually you've got to travel all the way to Mooloolaba to go to Underwater World, but it is shaping out to be quite the wet affair here. Really liking the execution of both of these sides so far. They've been pretty tight in their set piece. Haven't seen too many errors thus far, but it's also impressive to see that we've got 6 players in this New Zealand side that are repeat under 20s from last year. South Africa, they have 5, so great quantity here. Lots of new talent getting involved, but also old heads as well to keep the rest of the boys on their toes.
Yeah, I thought that last one was all right after they've listened to me, but I do agree with that first one.
It's a round robin over 3 days. The top team will be declared the inaugural champion. There is no final.
Time on. Back scrum.
So wins and bonus points are important. 13 minutes gone.
Might be tough to find a bonus point today, Clarkie, in these conditions. Set piece is just going to be crucial here going forward. You can see how this game's going to go. It's going to go scrum to line out, set piece to set piece, and just being able to gain some ascendancy or some fluency in that area is going to be a huge benefit.
This game kicked off at 5 p.m. local time. So breakfast time in South Africa. And just settling into
Down that far side.
dinner in New Zealand, no doubt. Just gone 7 p.m.
Cool. Cool, no worries, guys.
Centrefield scrum here for New Zealand under-20s.
Just feet up underneath.
Haven't seen them launch any sort of attack just yet, but this is a great place on the field to do so.
Just saw a glimpse there of number 11, Stanley Solomon. He has some big wraps on him.
He has parked himself right on the left-hand touchline. Plenty of space out on this left side.
Set.
Ben O'Donovan puts it in.
Stay bound.
Coming away with it is Rampling.
Playing advantage, lost forward.
Lost forward though.
No advantage, guys. We'll play the knock on.
He's looked likely, Malachi Rampling, when he's carried really strongly, but he's been a bit loose with his ball control. Isn't that great to see? You can see here, gets off the back of the scrum. He's actually tried to chip and chase that. Incredible play. Good to see the kids still turning out in the conditions, Clarkie.
Well, they are the future as well, and we're looking at the future for New Zealand and South Africa.
Bind. Set.
Assad Moose. Short side, it goes straight through the hands of Sefo, the fly half.
Let it come, Black.
Speaking of fly halves, you mentioned Andre Pollard there. So many great South African 10s have come through the under-20 program.
He was in grade 12 in my year in 2012, kicked the winning penalty goal to win the tournament for South Africa for the first time. Obviously, we know what he's gone on to do since then, but
relieving penalty here for South Africa. Tyler Seafor making sure of that one. Tom Allen just getting the timing wrong there.
not sure his entry was correct either. Looked to be a little bit in from the side. Free Kaminsky was right on top of him.
Closing the gap. Free kick to South Africa. Taking the tap and looking to catch them napping. Carry from Dyer. Horton.
Big carry from the captain.
And holding on as a call. The clean out wasn't effective. Penalty to New Zealand.
That was a great carry from Zachary Porthen. He won the physical battle. Sent the Kiwi defender flying, but unfortunately his support player was just too slow to get in. Gave the New Zealand defence a clear shot on the ball, and that's a fantastic kick for touch. Grant has landed that right on the 5 metre line. We see a good picture here. Just a bit slow to react, allowing Tom Allen a shot at that ball, and he wins a nice penalty for his side. And gee, they'll like the look of this. New Zealand under 20s.
18 minutes gone. Vernon Basin throwing into the line out for New Zealand. Good take. So they set it up. Still moving forward. And they flick it out the back. Looking to release Daly. He eventually goes to ground.
Leave the 9.
To the short side, Rampling. His opposite number was up there, Jacobs, to bring him down. Andrew Smith. Well, there it is. That's the story of the night, really. Slippery conditions.
It is, but you've got to give raps to the South African defence. They're really muscling up in tight and winning all those little collisions. Just not allowing the Kiwis to get any momentum in their attack at all. Shut it down at the source, at the line out, and then their organisation in defence, sensational. Forcing yet another mistake.
Saw the New Zealand bench warming up. It's very breezy and a lot cooler than what they expected on day one of the inaugural Rugby Championship under 20s.
I feel right at home. I've sat on some cold, wet benches in New Zealand in my time, Clarkie. One in particular in Christchurch one night. Spent 79 minutes on the bench waiting for Willie Genia to come off.
He waited a long time.
Oh.
Probably not as long as Chris Whittaker waiting for George Gregan to come off.
Oh, and rightly so. World-class player, Will Genia. I was lucky to be in the same paddock as him.
Penalty goes to South Africa. High fives all round.
They're loving this challenge, aren't they? They're very vocal, the forward pack. Every penalty, every mistake they're forcing, they're getting right up. Plenty of pats on the back and little huddles. Trying to drive each other on in these tough conditions. See this near side collapsing.
Small goes against the throw. Donovan, and eventually they just nudge him into the puddle just over the chalk.
Didn't stand much chance there, the little halfback, did he? Not much weight holding him in the field of play. He's done a lot of this tonight, cleaning up some loose balls. Won't be the last time he dives on one of those.
Oh, it falls down for Small, having a run. South Africa, junior box. Oh, but then he just picked out Grant, and now the kick downtown, and this one with the breeze behind it is going to go over the dead ball line. So unfortunate for New Zealand. It wasn't the best kick by South Africa, and they tried to make them pay.
Yeah, you feel a little bit hard done by there, Stanley Solomon, in these conditions. That ball's run on from around the 22. He read this perfectly, swallowed the kick from Assad Moose, and then you thought there was a chance to counter. Springboks did well. Junior box did well to get back in numbers and shut it down. And unfortunately for Solomon, the kick goes dead.
Yes, it was the speedster on the left wing, Stanley Solomon, making plenty of noise at the moment.
That was going to be a moment there, Clarkie. Best attacking chance in the first half. Some open play. Not to be.
Moose puts it in, takes it out, and leaving it behind there was Bester.
Disappointed with that. There's an opportunity down the short side there for the speedster. He'd hit it himself beautifully in behind the scrum, and he swung around with pace. One-on-one with Andrew Smith. He would have liked his chances there down the short side.
Ben O'Donovan about to feed. Martin Lippiatt, quite a bit of atmosphere. The kids are making some noise.
Well, they certainly are, Clarkie, despite this gusty wind, and New Zealand really want to capitalise with this one on their backs here in the first half. But the bounce of the ball, it's not only unkind in dry conditions, the halves, O'Donovan and Grant, are having a real time figuring out if they're going to hit the water patch and it's going to stop on a dime or if it's going to run dead like we saw just before. But they've got a big advantage here, and it'll be painful for them if they can't convert it into some points before heading into the break.
24 minutes gone. Points hard to come by. Falls on the 22. They'll claim the mark. Or no, maybe not. Damon outside the 22 now.
Use 5. Touch.
Nice with the kick. It's been touched. Oh, thanks for coming. Big tackle coming in from Lakani. Donovan getting the kick away. Damon. This is Thomas Dyer. Let's play on. Leotella cleaning up. No, it wasn't. It was Vainuku. With a kicking duel. Again, they pick out Damon. And now, all of a sudden, a little bit of room. Sherwood at the end of that. And again, the clean out wasn't good enough. And so it comes to nothing, but all of a sudden, a little bit of promise. And they don't mess around. Getting back there is Julius. And he's going to have to buy some time. Rampling right over the top. That's well done. New Zealand. Tui by Lala. Playing a game of territory now. Smith. O'Donovan on his own. Stranded. Yes. Went on his own. Teammates weren't aware of it. Great defence, South Africa that time.
Great defence again. Best attacking passage of the game. Cal Damon starting to look dangerous at the back. A few loose kicks from the New Zealand under-20s, and he made them pay on this occasion, linking up beautifully down the touchline. The Kiwis, they played quickly, got it down the other end of the field. Just couldn't crack this Junior Bok defence. Up to the challenge.
South African bench. Bester. Akabella, Hurst, Van Heerden, Papi, Ngabeni, Williams and Bull. They'll get their opportunity in the second half, no doubt. Good maul defence.
Zealand under-20s applying the pressure with their set piece. They want to convert this into some points. They've had the better of the field position. They've had the wind at their backs, and they've played plenty of football down this end of the field. Another good opportunity here to launch some attack. A scrum on this left-hand touchline. It's getting into that time in the game. 3 points might become a viable option here in the conditions.
Ben O'Donovan.
He's got Stanley Solomon looking to lead up here. Left winger.
Let's use.
Told to use it. Daly. Advantage is being played, and that's very much in front of the sticks. Yeah, 3 points might be the option.
I think it's going to have to be. It was a clear infringement. It was the first time they've generated any quick ball and momentum in the carry. Ben O'Donovan was there to play quickly. They had some numbers on the right-hand side, but couldn't get away. And it's going to be Hutchinson. Geez, this is no easy task, this. Standing in a swimming pool there, Clarkie.
Yeah, you don't get relief on the rugby pitch.
That was a nice carry in the midfield by Javi Taeli. He's had limited opportunities so far, but some nice late footwork. Saw him get on the front foot.
Isaac Hutchinson.
He's a big body for a fullback, isn't he?
From the Canterbury region, on the Crusaders pathway. 30 minutes gone. And Hutchinson. Flags go up. And finally, the scoreboard attendant has some work to do. Let's go sideline. Marty Lippiatt.
Yeah, that's the 5th time the Kiwis have made it into that attacking 22. First time they've run away with points. They've got a landslide amount of turnovers against the South Africans. 6-2 at the breakdown. Be a good result for them. They've got very important points, and South Africa, they'll need to respond.
Solomon. Real good work around the breakdown by South Africa, but in the end it falls for Hutchison. And Johnny Lee. Back to Cooper Grant. Finds some space.
Oh, outstanding.
Great chase. Frankie Wainuku. And the flag goes up. Net territory gain for New Zealand.
Yeah, the kick from Cooper Grant. He found an enormous amount of space in the backfield. And Frank Wainuku does a great job to get through, put the pressure on in the backfield. And as you said, a huge net gain and a chance to go back-to-back here. This would be a real turning point in this first half. So New Zealand under-20s come away with first points, only moment to go. A golden opportunity here.
Well, they can't control it. I think the wind got the better of them on that occasion. 3-0, New Zealand over South Africa.
They've got to simplify the lineup, you feel. It's windy conditions. Just got to try and get a jumper up at the front, get that ball in and out of the set piece. Be difficult to hit jumpers at 4 and 6 in the line out.
Good to see the Junior Rugby Club supporting the first night of the Rugby Championship under-20s. Still to come, Australia versus Argentina, and I wonder what the guys are thinking, because they very seldom would be playing in conditions like the conditions we have tonight on the Sunshine Coast. No sunshine this afternoon, let me tell you. Advantage being played for South Africa.
It's really well played, using a set piece to exit their territory. Very tough kicking going towards that touchline there, away from the grandstand. As you can see, just unable to pull any distance out of the kick. Set piece proving a weapon again for the junior box.
Lila Besta on the left wing.
Might see him in some open field. He looks very likely.
Johan Small goes backwards. Small lays it back for Moose. The word has clearly gone out. They don't want to play it in their territory, so the box kick. Nuku can't control it. Quick throw in. Finds some space. It'll stop just outside the 22. And Bester.
It's not late, it's in the air.
But we're going to come all the way back.
Yep.
Penalty to New Zealand.
Taking the kicker in the air, I think I heard referee Kaminsky say there. Cooper Grant's got an enormous right foot on him. I know he's got the wind behind him, but catching out the back three of the junior box. Give him a wrap and he doesn't find touch.
Damon. Allowed to bounce. Down to Grant. He picks out Bester. Can't get a lot of purchase on that one into the breeze. And out Hutchinson. One bounce and into touch.
Beautiful touch from Hutchinson. He's having a nice evening. He's had some classy handling in the back in the wet, showing off his right foot as well. Pinpoint kick. See the torpedo from Cooper Grant and then gets taken out. Geez, nothing in that one.
Vernon Basin. Goes to Allen. Now they set it up and now break away. It's Johnny Lee with a good carry. He's only about 4 metres out now. Can they finish it off? Oh, no, they can't. But now the penalty. Yeah, there was interference there on the scrum half. Well, it's a gift, 3 points if they want it.
It's a big decision 4 minutes before the break. And the scrum. Lovely. It's the hardest place on the field to defend, a centre field scrum on the 5 metre line. They'll have plenty of options. You'll see here there was a hand that came through, I thought, and slapped that down. Yeah, clear interference. And now this is a big, big moment. Malachi Rampling's been dangerous off the back of the scrum. We've seen Charlie Taeli carry nicely.
Options either side. O'Donovan puts it in. Rampling goes looking for it, but then he knocks it on.
It's a huge let off on the stroke of half time. So we see tensions boil over. Means plenty to both these sides.
Slight sledge there, no doubt.
Oh, they'd won the hit. There was a nice hit from both sides, and the ball just didn't get clear passage back to the number 8's feet. And Malachi Rampling had to go in looking for it and just ruled to have knocked it on as he tried to pick it up. That's a big, big let off. Just wonder the decision to not take the points
On a night like tonight.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
still
a gift,
New Zealand.
as you said, but yeah.
Three 0. Moose to feed the scrum. Picked up 20-odd metres there. The kick coming from Mikhail Damon.
Looking much more comfortable kicking towards this touchline, using the wind. Heels off 20 metres and he's going to have another crack here. I feel like we've seen this before.
Mason. Good take. Some direct running from Taeli. Oh, they're slow to roll away from there, South Africa, so advantage being played again as Donovan has a crack on his own. Jack goes into scrum half, picks out Martin. Playing advantage, so inside the last minute of the first half.
Identical spot from where they took points earlier. This was nicely played by Ben O'Donovan. The halfback brings a tear to the eye. This does Clark. He just played this up to perfection right in front of the referee. Made sure he saw that he was struggling to get that ball out. Wins a penalty for his side. Here we see just a little bit of interference in the ruck. Leaves that one behind. There's a play before that, but
in other words, he milked it.
He milked it, yeah, to perfection.
Isaac Hutchinson for New Zealand, 1 from 1. And this one is out to the right. So a wasted opportunity there for New Zealand, but they had the lead at halftime. It is the New Zealand under-20s leading the junior Springboks by 3 points to 0. The 4 teams using this tournament to get some momentum leading into the World Rugby Under-20 Championship to be staged in South Africa again this year. Starts in late June, runs into July. 3 venues in the Western Cape. Cape Town Stadium, one of them. Second half underway. They go short this time, and it almost paid off for New Zealand. But Xavi Taeli just couldn't get his hands on it.
Wow, what a start to the second half. Something a bit different. Not sure if that was a shank or intentional, but nearly pulled it off either way.
Juan Smile. Finds the 19 who's out there, JF Van Heerden. Another one of the South African players backing up from last year, but they make a mess of it, and so Vernon Basin says thanks very much, and here's an early attacking opportunity for the men in black. Johnny Lee. Good tackle down low from Jacobs. Grant finds the gap and gets it out to Tui Loilala, and his captain's over on the far side, Basin, but again, conditions getting the better of them.
Well, we know what the message was at half-time. New Zealand under-20s come out with their best attacking set of the game. Twice they played out the back and looked to shift to the edge, and they found some space too. Saw them play absolutely no football in the first half, content to just keep it tight, but geez, a clear statement here to open the second half.
Lee. Some direct running. What an opportunity now. Basin, 6 or 7 metres out. Taeli just had to check his run, and then he coughs it up, and it's been placed back there by Damon.
Comes unstuck. It was looking promising. I felt they've had a chat at half-time here and said, right, we're comfortable now with the conditions. We're going to have a crack. Lifted their intensity in this opening 2 minutes, shifted to the edge, and then generating quick ball, looking ominous. New Zealand under-20s, but once again, just execution letting them down.
It was an easy target in the end, Taeli, wasn't he? He just had to check his run.
Just got too flat on the pass and then got swatted by the defence.
So South Africa survive another New Zealand onslaught. We can go sideline to Martin Libya and Marty. Not as many puddles now, so the drainage system is kicking in.
Yes, Clarkey, second half. It's looking like a good one on the weather radar as well. We're kind of stuck between two bands of clouds out to the east and the west of us, which are running in parallel. But it looks like we should have clear weather for the remainder of this half, which should help the boys hold on to the ball a bit more and have some more exciting play.
Hassan Moose. Finding it hard to get a strike on the ball. He goes in digging the scrum half. Onto the left foot. Tip ball and finds touch.
It's a great night to have a right foot, left foot combination. Tough kicking conditions. Wind wreaking havoc. Hasn't dampened the spirits of the kids in the crowd. As you see here, so Fortis bangs it on his left foot and finds touch. The Kiwis now have set up a four-man line out. They've got a full extension across the field here.
Basin finds the target down to O'Donovan and Grant. He's ramping it up in midfield. No way through there. Good defence, ball and all from Mahashi. Smith. Lee. Oh, good. Oh, well, the intention was there. It was a good short ball to Basin, but on a night like tonight, they've really got to hit the breadbasket.
Yeah, difficult pass to take in slippery conditions, but it was definitely on. Basin had found a little seam. Malachi Rampling held the ball up beautifully. Oh yeah, just need to find him right in on the chest there. The captain puts it down.
That'll be a scrum, 25 out from the South African line. Stanley Solomon wanting to get involved. Difficult conditions for both packs, but it's been a good arm wrestle most of the match so far. Can I throw it at you, Nick Frisbee? Who might just be able to open this up? Who are you looking for in this second 40?
I get the feeling for the junior box, it's got to be the back three. They've looked electric. Had a few opportunities to break away, but execution just let them down. Mikhail Damon really found his feet towards the back end of that second half, and Lily Bester out on the right wing, desperate for some ball.
So Moose.
Set.
Eventually comes back for South Africa. Solomon spun out of a couple, gets up, goes again, releases the ball. What a run, Stanley Solomon. And then after all that, they put it down and it is a knock on. So it remains 3-0 New Zealand over South Africa.
Stanley Solomon take a bow. Talked about him pre-game as a player with plenty of raps on him. We can see why there, just shrugging off defenders on his way for a 30-metre gain. See here, he was tackled 3 or 4 times and just kept going. Fortunately, story of the evening, Cooper Grant put it down off the back of this. That's going to be the game plan from the junior box. They'll bang it long and use the wind, use their kick chase to try and generate pressure.
Sherwood in the 12 jersey. It's been a good battle between Sherwood and Taeli tonight. With the breeze favouring them now, the South Africans are desperate for some field position. They keep it on the toe. And one of the players was in an offside position, so it doesn't work out for them on that occasion.
One of the dangers of playing in these conditions, you can tend to overplay it at times. Junior box with the wind, but just kicking away territory there in good field position. See here, C4 just desperate to throw it on the left boot. 30, 40 metres out from the try line.
19, open up.
Basin throws in, cleans up. Donovan mixing it up. The chip kick, but picked up brilliantly on that occasion by Bester. And he's got a fine touch over on the far side as well.
Silky skills there from Bester. And Cooper Grant's got to be careful. That is not the play when you've got a back three as dangerous as this. No chases on the chip kick. He's lucky on this occasion that he's not hurt, but a great touch finder.
So changes here. 17, 21 and 22 coming on for New Zealand. Sanili, Pledger and Simpson.
Rico Simpson is a player of real talent. He's lucky enough to call him playing for New Zealand schools last year. He's got so much time on his hands. Absolutely carved him up at that level. Really looking forward to seeing how he handles the jump up here this evening.
So the New Zealand under-20s coach, John O'Gibbs, going to the bench 9 minutes into the second half. He's the captain for South Africa, Zachary Hawthorne, ex-South African schools captain. That's what you want, leadership coming all the way through the pathway.
Yeah, he's ticking them off, isn't he? South African schools, New Zealand under-20s. Only one left to tick off on his pathway.
Good take from Andrew Smith. They look to get it wide now. Tui by Lala, and he brings the fullback Hutchinson in. He kicks ahead now for Vainuku to chase. Cleaning up at the back was Asad Moose. Good vision with the men in black. Pile in, but they can't control the ruck. It's there for Sherwood. And the other kick to relieve some pressure. Quick throw in from Hutchison. Cross to the 22, Rico Simpson. Good defence though, Bester. One of the new men, Sinio Sanili. Jack. Pledger. Simpson. Going without it though was Lua Manabai. And so it's there for South Africa. And Sherwood goes to ground. Inside ball to Dyer. That's the halfway for South Africa. Juan Small. Jacobs. Tian Jacobs. Over to Bester, the go-to man, the inside ball into play with Mahashi, and now it's been intercepted by Hutchinson. He kicks, getting back there is Damon. The chase is on. Hutchinson will be the first black jersey to arrive. And the troops arrive in time for South Africa. More enterprising in this second spell from both teams. But again, it's South Africa parked inside their own territory. Not going to come out of there, so New Zealand, well done.
Well, I've got to admire this intent from these young Kiwis, opening up this game with their speed and their skill in what are terrible conditions, running the ball from inside their own half. Hutchinson's been heavily involved now. Kicked it ahead and then showed great discipline not to dive on the guy on the ground. Contested the ball and won a crucial turnover for his side here. You can see here, really easy to dive on the play on the ground there, give away the penalty, holds his nerve and composure, contests the ball and wins the turnover. The intensity of the game's really gone up in the last 10 minutes. A number of substitutions now on the field, and the intent from the Kiwis is really evident, but so far the junior box defence is up to the challenge.
Plenty of changes coming from South Africa now, and the head coach, Bafana Nkoko. 3-0, that was the half-time score. New Zealand over South Africa. Rico Simpson, New Zealand schools last year, so he's on a very fast trajectory.
Certainly is. He's just gone and positioned himself right in behind the scrum here. To sweep either side and create an extra number. What I love about Rico Simpson, he controls the game, reads the game beautifully, but he's tough as well for a young fella, not afraid to tuck it under the wing and take a carry.
If you've just joined us, the venue is Sunshine Coast Stadium, north of Brisbane. But there was an absolute rainstorm this afternoon.
Crowd!
So whatever crowd has turned up, they're undercover in the stand, which is good to see. And still to come, we've got Australia up against Argentina. To Pledger. To Simpson. Wide ball. Over the top. Solomon! Finally, Stanley Solomon slides in. And the New Zealand 20s score the first 5-pointer.
Well, we've waited 53 minutes. Stanley Solomon crashes over in the left corner. What about the ball from Rico Simpson? Only been on the field for a matter of minutes. Sweeps around from the short side and throws a 20-metre cutout on the chest of Stanley Solomon. And he's too quick, scores in the corner. That is a sensational ball in slippery conditions. What a young star he is, both these two young players, Rico Simpson and Stanley Solomon.
Well, Mum will be claiming all that. Erin, a former Blackthorn 15s player, is also a cousin, she's also a cousin of Xavier Rush. He was a fair All Black as well. And here is the conversion. It's out to the left, so it remains 8-0. That's more like it, Martin Olivia.
Absolutely it is. We saw that first half. They were really bogged down by the conditions. Spoke to Cooper Grant at half-time. What was the strategy running into this win? We're going to hold on to it, and we're going to run it low and hard at them. They create this opportunity here on the left-hand side for Solomon. The overlap was there. They put so much pressure on the narrow channel. South Africa, they're under the pump.
So the restart from Sefo. This one will hang in the air for a while. They allow it to bounce. And all of a sudden the gap opens up for Sefo. Up to the 22. Van Heerden. Jacobs. was looking for forwards to come around the corner, and he finds Lakani. Bothan. Moose. Advantage is being played right in front of the sticks. Lakani. Held up. Is he going to come back? Moose goes in digging. Here's the kick through, and it's going to beat everybody into touch. Joel Liatella had a wild swing with his right foot, but it was advantage being played, so we're going to come back. And it's decision time now for South Africa. Do they get the scoreboard ticking over?
Got to take the points, got to get themselves in the game, get on the board, and Tyler Seaforth pointed to the sticks. All of a sudden, we're commentating a different game here. The intensity's gone through the roof. Attacking play really starting to open up. It was C4 on this occasion, found some space in the middle of the field, and from there, they rolled up the sleeve and used their forwards. Playing under advantage. Yeah, wouldn't mind the junior box. Just trying to get the ball into the outside channels a little bit more. We've seen the Kiwis do it to great effect so far. There's not much happening through the middle of the field in these slippery conditions.
Tyler Seaforth. Batu Lakani helps out, and Seaforth slots it through. They're on the board at long last. The junior Springboks. So it's 8 points to 3.
What an intense match it's been so far. Only 5 points the difference after 58 minutes. It seems like it's been so much more. Good showing here from the junior box. They'll want to get back down to that northern end and find some more points soon.
Rico Simpson with the restart. Still a long way to go in this one. And good take in the end from big JF and Heerden. He's had a stint with the Bulls in URC, had a taste of it at least. Not a great pass, but fortunately it went back and bounced up for Liatella. Who's calling the forwards to give him a bit of coverage there. Referee says it's gone backwards, and now it's loose on the ground. Who wants it? Up it goes to Sherwood. Sherwood fending, pops it out, they're back, and there's the hit back. Joel Liatella for South Africa.
Liatella jogging on the spot. And what about the offload from Bruce Sherwood? Scooped it up off the deck and then flicked it out the back door one-handed. Sensational skill in the wet. It was that man, Rico Simpson, that put it down, and then the junior box. They swarmed, they had numbers everywhere. And it's the new South African Sevens product. Liatella hovering in midfield. Swallows the pass and crashes over. I must say, this is against the run of play. It's been all New Zealand under-20s to start this second half. The junior box, they haven't panicked. And in a moment, they'll have a chance to go in front for the first time in this game.
I like the work of the replacement hooker as well, Ethan Bester. He went straight onto the ball on the ground. And there's the extras. So for the first time in the match, it's South Africa leading New Zealand by 10 points to 8, Marty.
Oh, how exciting is this? Let's check out the work rate, though, from Joel Liatella. He gets in here first. We see him skittling around on the ground. But look at the foresight. He gets himself off the ground, gets back into the support role, works hard on the outside and finds the point. In a game like today, those kinds of efforts, they're going to win and lose games.
So, one try apiece in the second half. Halfway through the second stanza. And New Zealand, a try scorer with the kick downtown. Solomon. Damon taken. Interference with the scrum half on that occasion.
Yeah,
Offside.
Stanley Solomon just couldn't help himself. He saw a clear shot at the ball and thought he'd try his luck. Jordan Kaminsky on the spot as he has been all game. Junior Box now for a chance to go right back on the attack. They're piling on the pressure. It's great initial pressure at the breakdown. And the Kiwis, they got good numbers in there. Solomon infringing, gives away the penalty.
Her best of throws to Van Heerden, but it's not straight. So they had the momentum momentarily. All of a sudden it swings back to Even Stevens.
And those are the little moments, aren't they? Talk about momentum. It's going your way. You just got to capitalise, and it's little instances in the game like that. A throw not straight, a little knock on from Rico Simpson only moments ago. It's allowed the Junior Box to pile on the points, and now they let them off the hook. Tough night for throwing.
"17 coming on for South Africa, and that's Mosa Makubela. It's a good story. The number 17 started out as a loose forward. Now he finds himself in the front row.
Spent too much time in the buffet, evidently. What about the size they're bringing off the bench? Heerden, huge unit in the second row. Kubela now in the front row. It's really typical of what we've seen from South African sides over the last decade.
"10-8, South Africa over New Zealand. Still to come, Australia up against Argentina. First night of the Rugby Championship under-20s. A great initiative as these four nations look to really hit the ground running and get some momentum leading into the World Rugby under-20s Championships in South Africa starting late June. Big scrum from South Africa. They get the penalty, and now they can really apply some pressure.
And aren't they pumped about it? Every member of the forward pack got up, slapping backs and yahooing. They've got all the momentum here at the moment. They've been so patient. It hasn't gone their way all night. Bided their time beautifully, and now they're capitalising when it matters most. Perhaps some learnings from the first half as well, taking points when they're on offer, something that the Junior All Blacks didn't do. We see the scrum again.
One or two hands in there as well.
Look at that, great scenes. Passion and the enjoyment clearly evident.
Tough night for kickers, but it's a nice strike. And it's over. So a little more breathing space for the junior Springboks. 13 points to 8 now. I mentioned that they're building up to the big tournament, the World Rugby Under-20s Championships in South Africa. It's got to go back to last year to see why the Southern Hemisphere teams are going to try and make the most of this tournament over the next 10 days or so, because France finished on top, Ireland second, South Africa were third, England fourth, Australia fifth, Wales sixth, New Zealand seventh last year, Argentina were in ninth. So they've got some ground to make up against the Northern Hemisphere under-20s.
And that's why this is such a great addition to the calendar.
Well, they play Six Nations
in the north over there, of course, and clearly benefiting from that. It's great to see the Southern Hemisphere teams getting together and getting this tournament on. And
that one holds up, and good work by Tiaan Jacobs, the number 8 for South Africa. That's the halfway. New Zealand right over the top of that one, and yeah, good turnover. And Pledger. Puts it down towards the 22, and this one will stay in the field of play. Pledger is there. Good contest at the breakdown. Christie.
Release, Spring.
Inside ball to Sanili. Oh, and then again, holding on, goes against the attacking team.
This is great bit of play from the flanker. Lakeni just gets his body height down nice and low, and he's unstoppable down there once he gets on the ball. Again, it's a little shift in finding a seam, and then the attacking team just too slow to react, allowing Lakeni to get in over the ball and win his side the penalty. Got a great view of this here. Textbook of the breakdown from the young number 7.
Ethan Bester. Part of the Sharks pathway, and Natal. And Moose. No options there but to go to ground, and now goes against South Africa this time.
A relieving penalty, that is. Haven't had much ball in New Zealand 20s in the past 15 minutes or so. Rico Simpson gets a chance to drive one downfield. Something happening here on the ground.
These teams get to do it all again next Tuesday at this venue. It'll be New Zealand up against Argentina at 5 p.m. local time. And then South Africa will play Australia after that, immediately after that at 7 p.m. Loose ball, Bester has it. They get to do it again on Sunday week as well. South Africa against Argentina at 1:30, and then Australia against New Zealand at 3:30. So plenty of great under-20s action still to come. Let's hope the conditions improve after that deluge on the Sunshine Coast today.
Yeah, that's a big mistake at the back from Hutchinson. Just got skittled by the ball skidding along the ground, and he loses about 15 metres on the play. Forward drove it down the middle of the field. Hutchinson unable to control it, and in the end I think he's been ruled to have taken that back and kicked it out on the full.
Bester finds the tall timber, and he controls it at the back now. Ethan Bester. Coming through there was Andrew Smith to apply some pressure, and great pressure it was indeed. Martin Libby at sideline. Yeah, they're pretty happy with that, the New Zealanders. And so, Zimbabwe Mahashi's night is over. Not a bad shift from the South African number 6. In fact, both packs have been working overtime to try and get on top, try and control the possession in these terrible conditions.
They've all got through a mountain of work, haven't they? Number of scrums, mauls, plenty of carries in the Titan. Expect a big shove here at the scrum from the junior box. They've got the Kiwis down the right end of the field.
Dylan Pledger. 20 is out there for New Zealand. And that's the other brother, Mosesi Basin, brother of the captain, and that's been charged down over the dead ball line. Goal line dropout. Julius buys a bit of time up to the 22, and then they turn it over. Joss Vanger in 23 is out there for New Zealand. Luamanawai. They're happy to rumble. Cam Christie. Not really going anywhere though. Sanili. And that's the problem. One out running.
It's brilliant defence from the junior box, just recognising the moment in the game. Kiwis, they said they were going to hold the ball. Really difficult to do in these conditions, especially deep in your own 22. They've got plenty of line speed, plenty of physicality, and just bided their time. Another chance to put some points on the board here. Their big bodies in the contact, just making a dogfight of every tackle, every breakdown.
Good work by Tabang Fafi. So Tyler Sefo. Crucial kick this one. Not this time though. Will that come back to haunt them?
Just keeps the door ajar, doesn't it? The margin is 5. Still with plenty of time left on the clock.
Changes coming as well. Martin Libby the hooker. Vernon Basin might be coming from the field by the look of it. So they're using the benches, mate.
Yes, they well and truly are, Clarkie. We saw that big shift in momentum around the 53, 58-minute mark when South Africa take that lead. It was a huge change in the game in New Zealand. They're going to have to dig deep here to see if they can get these bench players to fire and close this gap. There's only 5 points in it, but it seems like much more than that at the moment.
So they're putting it through their hands, and Isaac Hutchison has been involved on many occasions tonight. That time there was no room for him. Here's Christie. Gone backwards. And good ball off the deck to the speedster Solomon. He has one try tonight. He beats 1-2, shows, goes, gets it back on the inside to Johnny Lee. They go to ground, but they're on the front foot now. Luamanawai. They've got advantage, they don't need to panic. They'll kick across. Who wants it? Who wants it? Well, it was there for Frankie Vainuku, but he just couldn't control it.
Oh, Frank Vainuku, a golden opportunity goes begging.
Yellow card.
Not all is lost. Gee, Stanley Solomon. He's had an enormous second half. He's scored a try. He's had 2 huge line breaks. Just so hard to put down. He's only small in stature, but he's obviously strong in the carry. Got a great offload away, and you thought that Johnny Lee was going to score, and then Frank Vainuku, this lands on his chest, and a try goes begging.
Yeah, Joshua Bull in 23 for South Africa. Was not in a great position, but yet another knock on in very slippery conditions, and it remains South Africa 13, New Zealand 8, and the South African under-20s are down a man at the moment in the bin in Pledger. What have they got up their sleeve?
Set.
They put it out the back to Solomon, and he is absolutely hammered. Still there though. Andrew Smith has a rumble and then loses it. And so they come up empty.
Well, what about the defence from Joshua Bull? I think it is outside in. He's a mile in from his left wing and just absolutely cuts Stanley Solomon in half.
Both coaches said it was going to be physical. It always is. New Zealand versus South Africa. The history between the two teams demand a physical encounter.
This is two wingers, Clarkie. Oh, what a shot. Right across the sternum.
I feel a bit for Stanley Solomon, though. He really had nowhere to go. He's okay. He's had a good night, scored a try. Another clean line break as well, and Joshua Bull, ex-South African schools from the Western Province, leaving his mark on game one. And Buffy is on there for Tyler Seafor, who's had a pretty good night directing them in trying conditions.
Yeah, he's been really solid. He's been really nice and patient, controlled the game nicely. Really brought his side into the game in the second half with his kicking game. See this shot again. Stanley Solomon. He'll be a sore boy tomorrow.
So that might be the bench cleared now for South Africa and New Zealand. Good knock by the captain, Zachary Porton, backing up from last year, and he's such a key player in this South African under-20s campaign. So they look to clear through Williams. The whistle is gone.
The final replacement of the night for the junior Springboks, number 15, Mikhail Drummond, has left the field.
Penalty goes to South Africa.
That's a huge penalty. Keep in mind, they've only got 7 men in the scrum. Under pressure in their own half with only a couple of minutes left to go, and they're able to conjure up a penalty, get themselves out of jail. Big moment.
Wainuku sends it infield. Basin. Back to Wanga. And Daeli kicking ahead. Claiming the mark there, though, was Thurland Williams.
Panic in the backfield from the junior box. Thurland Williams holds his nerve there.
This one not out. So there's still plenty of time for New Zealand to head back.
Coming forward, backwards, not sideways.
Moose.
Won it.
Turnover for New Zealand. Johnny Lee. He's been busy in the 7 jersey. Pledger goes to the short side, and Basin over to Solomon, kicking infield. Who wants it? They keep it on the toe, but the whistle is gone. Beat everybody over the dead ball line as well.
Jeez. He's been pulled back for a forward pass or knock on down the short side.
There's a no-arms tackle from 16 green in that patch of play.
Basin got an offload away to Stanley Solomon, who kicked ahead, and Pledger.
Penalty only, please, yeah.
Oh, he was over.
Green 16.
Might be a problem here for Ethan Bester, the reserve hooker for South Africa.
Well. Guys, review. We've got a late tackle against green 16 on the 15.
It's a no-arms tackle from 16 green.
No arms tackle from 16 green. We're going to restart with 15. Yes. Yeah, just here. Time's still off. I'll let you get set.
No arms tackle's being called back here, and gift penalty for New Zealand. A chance to drive this into the corner.
So Rico Simpson will fine touch. Number 16 is on there for New Zealand. That's A1 Lolafi'i. His father was a fruit picker and the best apples were called A1, so he called his son A1. Why not?
Sensational.
Good take from Christie, and here's the rumble. A1 has it at the back. They set it up again now. Lolithier breaks away and they go to ground.
Got to release, guys. We've got to tackle.
So Pledger. Basin. It's Mosesi. Short side again. Now the switch. Simpson gets it across to Josh Wanga. Pledger this time. Tom Allen has a rumble. Desperate defence required by South Africa. Donny Lee from a standing start. They drive in behind. It'll come back for Pledger. And Simpson out to Wanga. Men on the outside. And it is Frankie Vainuku who scores the try. They're a man up and now they had the overlap and they are up on the score sheet.
And what a finish we have coming up here, Clark.
Well, it's 13 all.
13 all. New Zealand 20s with a chance to steal the victory. But what a great ball again from Rico Simpson. Looks up, sees the winger coming in, finds a long ball to Josh Wanga, and he puts Frankie Vainuku in the corner. He bombed one only moments ago, but he scored a crucial one here for his side. What an exciting finish we have coming up here. Young Rico Simpson with a big moment in his career.
Man from Bay of Plenty and in the Chiefs system, 13 all. What a kick coming up. And this one will not hold its line across the face of the uprights. It was looking good for most of the journey. But 13 all. No final in this competition. The team that finishes on top after the 3 days will be crowned the Rugby Championship under-20s winners. Free kick, short arm for New Zealand. Can they work their way down and try and come up with a match winner? Johnny Lee, Pledger. 18 is Karini Ruamanavai. Daly, the offload is good. There's the kick downtown for Vainuku to chase. Moose is back there cleaning up. He's done that all night. The scrum half for South Africa. And they get the penalty. Diving on the man, I assume. Penalty to South Africa. Can they work their way downtown? Well, it was a tough slog in the first half, but things have opened up in the second half. And don't go anywhere, because still to come we've got Australia up against Argentina. Better conditions for them because they don't have as many water puddles to contend with, but the South Africans are happy to share the points. They're happy to take the tap and put it into touch. So an interesting finish. 3-0 to New Zealand over South Africa at half-time. Full-time, New Zealand under-20s and South African under-20s are all locked up at 13 all.